Hey YouTube, it's GXAce here with a quick review of the 7Artisans 50mm 1.1 lens for Leica M mount. This lens is pretty interesting. It's a $370 M mount 50mm 1.1 lens, which is pretty crazy. It's made by a Chinese company in Shenzhen called 7Artisans. They have a line of a few lenses that are all ridiculously low priced. Build quality is fantastic. It feels like a Leica made lens. It feels like it's made out of brass. It's actually made out of anodized aluminum. Finish is awesome. It matches the Leica M6 pretty closely. Looks really cool on this camera. The lens clicks into place really solidly, so there isn't any kind of like manufacturing flaws in my copy of the lens. I've heard some other reviews on Amazon talking about poor build quality, like quality control with, you know, some of the aperture ring like coming loose and like falling off or something. I mean, this lens feels as high quality as the Voigtlander lenses that I have. It feels pretty substantial in the hand, which is awesome. The aperture is very smooth moving. The focus is extremely smooth. Definitely, yeah, feels high quality. The lens actually comes pretty decently packed. The box looks pretty nice. Has the logo on the front with a red 7 on it. The lens is packaged inside of laser cut foam, so it looks pretty nice when you open it up. Inside the box, there's a focusing chart and a little screwdriver. That's actually there to give you the option to calibrate the back or front focus. If you have any issues with those, there's instructions in Chinese and English. Comes with a little screwdriver for doing that as well too. My package came with a little focusing tab that's adhesive that you can stick on the lens, similar to other rangefinder lenses. It also comes with a metal friction fit lens cap that has the logo on the front. It feels very high quality too. So this lens is 50mm 1.1, goes from 1.1 all the way to f16. The aperture ring is declicked, which is kind of nifty, kind of sucks, depends on what you use it for. Video is nice because you can change your aperture smoothly. Film shooters and people that are using it kind of for photos might find it annoying because you can't tell by feel what aperture you're at. The minimum focus distance on this lens is 0.7 meters or 2.5, like 2-ish feet. There's also a hyperfocal distance scale on the lens, which is really useful for zone focusing. I was actually pretty surprised by the image quality of this lens. I wasn't really expecting a whole lot since it's a kind of a knockoff of a Noctilux, but wide open, the lens is actually decently sharp in the center, although the corners are pretty soft. The lens sharpens up a lot even as soon as you get to 1.4, and then quite a bit by 2.8 and f4. The corners are pretty bad wide open. Even by f8 and f16, the lens still has some pretty soft corners, so as long as you're not framing super far into the corners, it shouldn't be a huge issue because the center does sharpen up quite a bit. The lens also displays a kind of interesting glowing effect to some of the highlights that I think is actually pretty cool. So this lens actually vignettes quite a bit wide open. It gets a little bit better by the time you get to f4. I found that using the ZY Optics 50mm lens calibration preset in Lightroom actually gets me pretty close to adjusting for the vignetting and the barrel distortion at f1.1. When you're at the close focus distance on this lens, the bokeh is kind of crazy. It looks busy, kind of looks like it's shooting into the center of the frame, like you're zooming a lens in real quick while you're taking a picture, so it kind of looks like there's motion pointing towards the center of the frame. And it sort of changes depending on the distance you are from your subject, which I guess some people might like and you could use it creatively, but it might be a little too intense for everybody all the time. This is actually a pretty decent lens. I was very surprised. I thought it was gonna suck, and it kind of did. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, $370 for a 50mm lens that goes on a Leica M mount. It's pretty cool. So yeah, there'll be more videos like this in the future. So like and subscribe. Thanks.